I don't know what the fuck you guys are thinking. You don't ever talk about my band again. What's this honest brutality shit anyway?
Honest brutality.
Hello, this is Kristofer.
And this is Erik.
From the Swedish metal band Eyes Wide Open.
And you are listening to Honest Brutality!
Everybody, Cameron Rebel here with Honest Brutality, and I'm sitting here with Evil. Hello, Evil.
Howdy.
And on the line, I'm so excited to announce that we have Erik and Kristofer of Eyes Wide Open. And if you guys have been listening to our shows, you know that we have been doing exclusives on their upcoming album. So it's really amazing for me to say that we do have them on the line. Hey guys, how are you?
Hello.
Hey guys.
We're great. We're good.
Good. And you guys are all the way in Sweden.
Yeah, for sure. It's starting to get later in the evening here. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a 9-hour difference.
Yeah, which is weird because we're drinking coffee still.
You guys are drinking beer and we're drinking coffee. You have an amazing album that I've heard that not everybody else has heard because you haven't dropped it yet, and it's called And So It Begins. So you guys are going to be dropping it September 1st, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Wow. And so kind of tell me your interpretation of the album.
Yeah, sure. Like the story behind it and so.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that.
It's been a very special process, I must say. If we start from the early beginning, when did we start with the album? February last year or something?
Oh, I don't know. It's taken a really
long time,
different roads, and a long time to make this album because we had some problems on the way. We actually lost our previous singer, Patrick, like 3 weeks before our biggest tour.
So far. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
We had some major problems.
Yeah, so it was kind of like a sink or swim case. We had to go on the tour because it's going to cost us a lot of money to bail out just 3 weeks before it.
Right.
So, well, I told Kristofer that, I can try, and he just laughed at me.
So it was funny. We were going for a festival gig. It was the last gig with Patrick, and we were in the airport. And Erik said, "Well, I can try to do the vocals for the tour." And I was like, "Oh, are you sure?" I don't think so.
Wow.
Had you not done vocals at that point, Erik?
No, I just done some backing vocals, really small stuff like shouting small words and stuff like that.
And this was last year?
Yeah, it was
March last year. And
so we went for a full tour, 3 weeks or something.
17 days or something.
Yeah, and well, it turned out pretty good. So we
like as soon as we got home from the tour, we started to try out the vocals in the studio, and it turned out really great. And we got so many positive comments and stuff on the tour about Erik's vocals, and so we took that positive energy into the studio and made this album.
Wow. You guys made a great choice here. Erik, you stepping up to the plate. You know, I haven't heard a lot of your old stuff, but spot on to me. Your vocals and your vocal range, it's just amazing. It blows my mind. So in fact, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Atreyu, but Alex, the singer, sometimes you get that vibe in your vocals and it just gives me chills. It's absolutely amazing. So kudos to you guys. And I think that it's definitely working for you.
Thanks. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That improves my ego. Lead singer syndrome.
Lead singer syndrome.
That's funny.
I love it. I love it.
We love that podcast.
Yes, it is. It is a good one. It is a good one. So, okay. So now tell me more about lyrically the album, because it feels like to me, we all have our own interpretation when you're listening to music. We put it on how we feel it, right?
Yeah.
So on your guys' interpretation of lyrically speaking of the album, tell the audience what it's about.
Well, the album is like a part of we have a trilogy with the two later records.
Mm-hmm.
So this was like
the ending of the trilogy.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was kind of special because because Patrick had been doing the most of the lyrics on the other two records. So we were trying to do something new, but still keeping the same vibe and the same story that we had on the first two. Yeah. And it talks about the not the end of the world, but something like it.
Right.
Well,
worldly stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
sure.
we as humans are like, how should I put it? We're draining the planet and go to wars because of oil and stuff.
Money.
We're just draining the planet, and if we continue to do this, we're gonna be our doom.
Yeah, I think we said one thing once that it's more important nowadays for people to have the newest phone, the newest Mac computer,
right?
And stuff like that, instead of keeping the planet together. And when we're not thinking longer than weeks or when we make think a bit longer.
Not having a long view as far as our future generations and what's left for them.
Right.
Exactly. So that's the major thing about the album, and
then all the different tracks have different leaps of the story, but that contains the general idea.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Just for clarity, you had said it was a trilogy. So are these, in essence, conceptual albums? Are they concept albums? And are they supposed to kind of go together? I mean, obviously, if it's in a trilogy, but is it a loosely knitted story, or is there a hard timeline in there somewhere?
No, more like
loosely.
Yeah.
And it's more like the concept of the albums that are sewn together, but all the different songs are not continuously in a timeline or so.
We were actually trying to do that on this album when Patrick was still in the band.
Yeah.
And we tried to put every song in a special order, but it ended up really weird.
Ended up more like a Tarantino film.
Yeah. Something like
yeah.
Well, that's great because he makes great films.
But then maybe this wasn't a Tarantino.
Maybe a little less bloody.
Yeah, something like that.
The music that we've heard on it so far, I've been very, very impressed. You guys have a different approach all the way around to your songwriting, to its organization and structure. Tell me a little bit about that. Where did you guys come from as a band? Where did this style come from?
I think mainly from the melodic metal scene, or how you say it.
Yeah.
We are 4 different people who listen to widely ranges of different music, in all styles, not only metal and rock and stuff like that. But I think we got together in the melodic metal scene and metalcore and stuff like that. And we have a pretty good scene in Sweden, as you know, with In Flames, Soilwork, Arch Enemy and stuff like that. So I think we picked up the line somewhere around there and continued to do it on our own way, of course, from there. So.
Well, you said that there's a good scene in Sweden, and I'm interested in actually hearing a little bit more about that, because we hear different things from different artists when we talk to them. And we just recently spoke with a very outspoken, very interesting individual. His name is Chris, and he's in a band called The Last Band.
Oh,
And-
yeah, from
and he-
Gothenburg.
Yep, that's the guy. and he is a character, but according to him, the scene over there is predominantly a lot of classic metal, power metal bands that are kind of rehashing. Obviously, you guys aren't in that part of it, but that are kind of rehashing what's already been done. Does that seem to be a fair assessment?
A bit like that, I must say. It's a lot of retro bands.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
have you heard of the band Ghost from Sweden?
Of course. Well, yeah, of course.
Like, yeah, I feel like it's the new retro band. not bad words about them, but kind of mirrors the scene, I must say.
Okay.
Yeah, it does. But it's kind of a different music scene here. I think when we tour in Europe and stuff like that, we meet a bunch of people that come out to the live gigs, and there's a whole different vibe. But here in Sweden, it's more like you sit in the sofa, drinking beer and listen to Spotify. That's good enough.
If you go to a show, you must drink in Sweden.
Yeah.
Really?
It's like people don't go to shows just for the show almost. It's like you need to have it's a party day.
Wow.
Yeah, people kind of reserved.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh.
Yeah.
When we get out of out to Germany or something like that, people, they come by even on a Wednesday or something. But in Sweden, that wouldn't work.
No, Fridays and Saturdays. That's the days in Sweden.
Wow. That's very interesting.
So we are good at bands, bad at fans.
Yeah.
So now, you guys, the band kind of came together and formed in 2011. Now, I understand that you lost your vocalist last year. So with that departure, Erik, you guys have all been in the band since its conception, correct? So we're Eyes Wide Open minus one person at this point.
Yeah,
exactly.
So have you had any formal vocal training or?
Actually, no. I've trained myself together with Kristofer, and we made studio sessions to practice, and we made some covers from In Flames to Bring Me the Horizon and stuff like that, just to practice my voice and different characters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
To find style before we recorded the album.
Yeah, and during the process of the album recording, I got better all the time. So we had to go back to every song and delete the song tracks and make them all again, because it sounded better every time.
Yeah, we have a song from the album called We Reached for the Sky, and I think we re-recorded that song. It was at least 3 times. I think it maybe was 4.
That song for me, it's just, I get goosebumps, and it's the softer side of you guys, and I freaking love it. I love your guys' straight hardcore stuff, and I love that thrown in there is just beautiful.
It has a really special vibe, it's really getting under your skin kind of feel.
Yeah, and it totally does.
I think this song was kind of special for us during the recording too.
And why is that?
Well, it was kind of hard. When I was going to be the singer, I thought to myself, what I'm going to write about. I don't have abused childhood stories or living in the suburbs being. I don't have the kind of gangster rap stories to tell.
Right.
I thought to myself, what's the thing that gets me emotional? What ticks me off, and what have I been a part of that really hurt me? And so that song was really hard.
Personal.
It's really personal and really hard to write from beginning to end.
So
it's kind of cool. I think the song is about having your deepest bottom, and to
rise above it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And, so it's not about Patrick, but you can put it in that way, like a sense of betrayal. I don't say that Patrick betrayed us, because he's a really nice guy and he had some issues that had to be dealt with. So there's no hard blood between us.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like that feeling when someone leaves you and you get betrayed, and how do you get back from that point? So
we had a really special like day when Patrick left the band.
Yeah.
You know, we sat in the car and like both were just, we were almost not saying anything. It was like, what the fuck are we going to do?
Yeah. I pick up on the vibe that deeply affected you guys.
Yeah.
You had forged a really strong relationship, and that was a fundamental part of your music. But it seems to me as though you've circumvented the pain and turned it around, used it in making better music, and your music is fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I heard really good like comments about this, and we feel also that the tighter unit with us four is a better unit, and we work much better now. Have a greater process. Everything is moving on.
Yeah,
good. Good. Yeah.
Where we went on, it was like really getting us together from like being the 5 persons into the 4-person band that we are today. So
okay, well, just for clarity, so that I understand, Erik, you're now doing all the vocals, and before you were just doing some backup vocals. So what was your role in the band? Are you doing anything else in the band now? Are you a rhythm guitar?
I was the rhythm guitar section.
Okay.
So, but I can't do both at the same time. I'm not that good of musicians.
So does that mean, Kristofer, that you have had to pick up the duties of doing backing vocals?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, especially not really on the album. I think I do like 3 lines or something, maybe, and some like harmonies and stuff on the album. But
live, he's really. It's too much lyrical sometimes, so I have to like breathe sometimes. So then Kristofer takes those parts.
Yeah. You don't need to breathe.
What's breathe?
You don't say.
So real quick on the upcoming album, you have ES Music. So tell me a little bit about ES Music, and tell me, did you produce the album?
Yeah, we did. ES Music kind of came together during that time, I think.
Yeah.
And we have also done some studio recordings before, and but we recorded the bass, the guitars, and the vocals in our own studio, which we are talking in right now. And we did the mixing and mastering and the drum recording in another studio, which is in the same place as we live.
That's amazing, because the sound quality is pristine.
Great to hear.
Yeah, you guys definitely hit it there. I want to go back a little bit here as far as the shows that you guys have played. Like, give us an idea of the magnitude of the crowd that you guys have and your following. Tell us where you guys are at, what you've seen, and where you hope to be.
Well, we hope to really step it up now with this album, and we have some shows that we cannot tell you about right now.
Yeah.
But
you guys are going to come see us, aren't you?
Oh, sorry, no. We can go to the US sometime soon.
I don't know if you've heard that we are going to write a song for a wrestler in the WWE.
Is that right?
No. Wow. Tell us about that.
And I hope this will open new doors in USA. So hopefully soon.
Yeah. So which wrestler?
It's not really decided yet, but I think it will be in the upcoming month.
Yeah.
So.
It's our management who has fixed this deal with WWE. Yeah. And we don't know the details yet, but it sounds really cool.
What a great opportunity.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you guys watch wrestling?
No, we don't. We actually don't have wrestling on TV in Sweden.
No.
Oh, tell us about that. Just it's a cultural difference here, so it's just not accepted?
Yeah, I think it is, but I think people see it sometimes a bit cheesy, man.
Yeah, same.
I think we have more the soccer, football, and ice hockey and stuff like that.
Real sports.
Exactly.
I'm probably going to get persecuted on my own soil because I know I have fellows, hosts and whatnot that just love the wrestling, and it's never something I ever got into. It's just not for me, but I know that it has a huge following, and there's a lot of great songs that have come out of it just for that reason, because guys have written songs for the wrestlers for their introduction. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a really cool, I must say, a cool vibe. And when we got this opportunity, I had to check out the wrestling thing, and it's like this really cool show and stuff like that. So it's more like, I think, theater than sport.
Yeah. I've actually gone to a wrestling show. So Hulk Hogan, I saw Hulk Hogan and somebody else. I can't remember. I don't know if it was, I have no clue. But anyhow, I was a kid and it was just like very interesting.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting.
Well, Erik kind of looks like he could be a wrestler.
Totally.
Yeah, for sure. I actually saw a wrestling clip. I think it was on Facebook. Someone who has some dick move. He grab him by the dick and then he controls them and twists them and it's really weird. But yeah, you like wrestling? Why not?
Oh yeah, that's not a wrestling move. That's just an American move. Oh. Yeah, that's how we shake hands. Can't wait to meet you.
I can't wait to go to America.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. So
I'm gonna be like Mr. Bean in
Mr. Bean.
Hello.
Right, with the flipping everybody off, thinking he's waving. Hello.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. You guys are hilarious. Oh my gosh. So now you guys actually have a ton of videos out. Are you guys producing those as well?
Yeah,
we are.
Shit.
Mr. Singer. Who does?
Wow. So you guys are like totally DIY. Now, I did see something. Are you guys signed with Sony?
We have a distribution deal.
Yeah.
That's actually really common in Sweden. I'm noticing this. Sony and derivatives of Sony have distribution over there.
Yeah, we have a really good office here in Sweden. We have a friend who works there with the metal and rock scene. So
but to clarify, we're our own label. So they're just doing the distribution.
Right.
Independent band, but with some push.
That seems to be the way to do it, really.
Well, it's the new way, I think. Yeah.
I think most bands have to go this way today because labels aren't that interested in you before they see that, there's a lot of money in this band.
Yeah.
So you have to have like a big fan base, sell a lot of CDs and T-shirts. Then they are interested.
Yeah. In their defense, it's a return on the investment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's a business company. So.
But it makes it really hard to succeed in this business today because you have to put in a lot of effort and a lot of your own money.
You have to be like multitasking deluxe, I must say.
Yeah, I was a musician for a lot of years, and I thought that I could do that, and turns out I'm just spending a lot of money to do a radio show and a podcast now instead.
Could be pretty cool that too.
So let's get a little personal, if you guys don't mind. Do you both have 9-to-5 jobs? Well, it wouldn't be 9 to 5 because you guys do military time, but do you guys have day jobs, or are you just full-time out there smashing it out with Eyes Wide Open?
Well, actually, we started this studio so Kristofer could have this as a day job. So we have... the studio is a day job, and I got a day job like alarm technician.
Okay.
Wow. Nice.
So it's
I think the goal for us is to to get Erik to do as I do in pretty soon time, hopefully in the next year. But like, we'll see what happens.
So you're running your studio full time.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're producing other bands' music. What bands are you working with right now? Turn us on to some amazing music.
We have just worked with a band called Primal Instinct. They are also from Karlstad, where we are from. But we also we don't only do like music production, we do like other kind of audio productions like voiceovers and stuff like that. I've actually been doing some for Burger King.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, like instructional stuff. And then we do like video stuff, and we also have another project, like musical project that's actually is signed to Sony. So that's also like a part of the
more like a comedian metal thing in Swedish, so you wouldn't understand a word.
Oh, man.
It's called rivjärn.
Yeah.
Wait, what is it called?
Rivjärn. It's what is it?
Cheese grater.
Yeah, cheese grater.
She's greater.
So they're like the Swedish Steel Panther?
More like
I don't know a band in English.
No,
Weird Al Yankovic in metal.
Ah.
Can send you a link later.
Maybe like Psycho Stick?
Psycho Stick, what's that?
Have you guys not heard them?
No.
Okay, well they'd be the American cheese grater from what I'm picking up. Check them out. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
American Cheese Grater. That's a good band name.
That's if we go international.
Oh my gosh. We have this album that's getting ready to drop here very, very soon. What do you guys have as far as getting out there and playing shows? Do you have a tour lined up? What do you guys have on the forefront?
Hopefully a lot of gigs. Right now we have some planned, especially in Scandinavia. But I think we're planning to do some kind of European tour in the coming months.
Yeah, we had some problems with the bookings. We had like a whole European tour planned out and ready to go, but then the other bands dropped out, and we're stuck on our own. So, but we have some interesting offers from other bands. So we're discussing now to be able to support some bigger bands and
trying to get some like new fans, and I think that's the way to go. Like tour with bigger bands and try to catch their audience too. So.
Right. Yeah. When you guys go out and you tour the European side, do you do England at all? Is that something you get over there and do?
Not yet. We've been doing Germany, Netherlands, Austria, Poland, Czech Republic, and stuff like that.
Austria.
Sweden, of course.
We got some friends in Austria. Mm-hmm. We have several bands we deal with over there.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Are you guys doing festivals, smaller shows? What's your biggest crowd that you guys have played for?
We actually were a support band for Hatebreed in Ukraine.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Tell us about the experience.
Mr. Josta himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, we hadn't the chance to talk with him because he just ran by our...
I'm like, hello!
Yeah.
Hello.
So that's too bad.
Yeah.
I really would like to get the chance to talk to them, but they have a tight schedule.
Yeah.
So... But it was a really cool show.
For sure.
A bunch of people, like 2,000
Yeah,
or something.
somewhere near it. I think at least 1,500. So
yeah.
And it was kind of funny because when we went on stage before, like they were only waiting for Hatebreed. They have no clue which we were. And I think they were shouting really ugly words in their own language, which we of course understand. But when we got on stage, it like totally changed in like 1 minute, and they were like going apeshit crazy. And I think it was the biggest mosh pit I ever seen on like an indoor show.
That's amazing. So was that the biggest crowd that you guys have played for?
Yeah, I think so. We played at the festival in Sweden called Sweden Rock Festival. It's the biggest like rock metal festival in Sweden.
I've heard of it.
Give us a perspective from an artist standpoint, because we watch shows. You know, we're on the receiving end of that. We're not up on stage and we're not looking out and seeing all these people. So tell me what it feels like to be standing there on stage. You're getting ready to perform. Are you thinking, oh my gosh, this is a lot of people. Holy cow. What if I screw up? What if I, tell me about what that's like.
Actually, it's like this. Before the show, you get a little nervous, and you start like thinking, like you said, this is a lot of people. Oh my God, am I going to screw up and stuff like that? But once you get out there and see, especially if it's a big crowd, everything just
it turns in a second.
Yeah, it's just a release, and you're just in it.
Yeah.
It's sing feeling.
Must say that it's almost easier to play for bigger crowds than for like the small crowds.
Yeah.
Like it's easier to play for 1,500 instead of 50.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's you get more energy from the crowd,
Right.
and you when you see like 50 people and 49 of them stands like this with arms crossed and just headliner or something, then you don't get the energy to perform. You have to do it anyways, but it's much easier when you out there have a big crowd and there's mosh pits and stuff like that. Then you really get into it.
Yeah, we were on the tour, the Unguided, another Swedish band, and we played some like weekday shows which were a bit smaller. And I know there we really had to like start from the beginning to really like get the audience going.
Right.
Otherwise, they just would have been standing there for the whole show. So
Yeah.
but I think we managed it.
Yeah.
When was the last time you guys were in the pit, actually out there moshing?
I think actually it was on one of our shows.
Oh yeah, true that. I think so.
We actually had it's a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
We had a song called One Last Chance that it's a awesome circle pitch song.
Oh.
And as soon as it begins, we all ran out in the audience and start circle pitting with everyone. And just
Only Carl, the drummer, left on stage.
Yeah. It was a really fun show.
I would absolutely love to take a trip and go to Sweden. There's just so much talent out there, and I just want to eat it up, so I really appreciate your guys' time and whatnot. Do you have anything else you want to add to this conversation?
If you like our music, please go and like pre-order the album if you like what you hear. It really helps us a lot, I must say, from the deepest of our hearts. We are a do-it-yourself band, so all the money goes into the band. We don't take any profit in our pocket because everything costs, and we need to get more money to produce more stuff for you guys.
Right. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Very well said. I love that.
How does the listening audience get in touch with you? How do they contact you, find your music? Where is all of that at?
You can either go to, we have a pretty big following on Facebook, and we try to like answer everyone who writes to us and try to like keep a good connection with our fans. But otherwise, you can go to Spotify, YouTube, something like that, and just search for our music.
Especially on Facebook, we try to really talk to everyone.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk to us, just give us a PM.
Yeah. You can also add our like personal Facebook pages if you want to ask something. It's just to go.
Yeah, you guys are really responsive when I reached out to you, and I really appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Eyes Wide Open from Sweden. Thank you again, gentlemen, so much for spending time with us today.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
for the sky. Soar through the clouds, it all tumbles down. Wade through the lights. Don't wait around when it all tumbles down. Face it now. once again for another narcissistic celebration. We were looking